And we will get into the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we will be first official game, pumped up and ready. The snow map is here. It will be very small, but not too small for you. Lock and loaded for the players. We will have our featured players here today: Jenny, Appy, Small Boy, and Sin B. So you have to have OY and NS in terms you want to get into featured players here. That's what they have in common.
Yeah, they're gonna be nice. Jenny with the 72 kills over here. Total winner. Check it
Awkward.
out. 6 kills. But going back to the statement, again, this is actually a league format. So, from my understanding, it's more towards, getting the placements because, again, the formatting, the scoring format, it's all about that, getting the points. But at the same time, because it's a league format, kills does matter. And going back to our observers out here, cracking heads, cracking necks, neck with the flexing of his muscles, and of course you can see that they all have an increase in terms of their games observed.
Oh, and congratulations, the Cops is hitting the 100 mark. Woohoo! You're the best, man. It seems like that just jinxed the circle.
And what is the best? Of course, it's the circle. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, by now by watching this, I love this sort of circles. Lots of water here, about 50% water, and Choo Choo is going MJ. But again, all the teams as well, especially if you landed on the southern side of the map or on the western side, you'll be having the same feeling as Choo Choo. But if you're on the northern side or the eastern side, you'll be having the same feeling as me.
It's just a garbage circle, man. Just literally trash. Look at that, 60% of water. Oh man, we're not gonna see as much fight today.
Hey, we need water to survive though.
Thank you.
Technically,
I have a supporter. Yay!
I'm roasted here in the middle. There you go. Total damage for XPERT MY. This is not the highest we get. Maybe he's playing as, if I'm not mistaken, Kim is one of the supports for the team as well, coming up rushing from the side. They are playing quite decent enough for XPERT to get themselves at the top 16. If you ask me, they can actually make it.
Yeah, I do agree on that. Some players, they are not meant to be, entry fraggers or at least the key fraggers in their team. So what normally they could do is they can play the support role. Support role is in a lot of variants. You can actually pick up utility for your team, maybe more towards your to your side in terms of the equipment. Another thing you can do is perhaps playing an absorber role, perhaps the shot caller as well as the support. So even though he does not contribute much in terms of the kills, in terms of frags, but at the same time, other areas does matter. And you can look back here, this will be team number 21, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is
Bosskurr.
Bosskurr, yeah! Oh, damn. That's very good. That's a very good execution.
We have been going for such
many days already.
Yeah, there you go. But those are actually coming up from the southern side here. We'll have to go through, especially on the western south here. From Abbey up to Vonova, then to Castle, it will be really a grinding spot. Those coming up from the west, straight cutting it into Goroka. We'll have a couple of teams, but nobody coming up from the northern. Zabava, they only have EVOS VIP. So hopefully they can hold their ground, especially Team NoRecoil already gatekeeping on a Rampage Cova.
I'd say that H2O is also not really in good position because the bridge on Koma is being camped out by Impunity. They can go through the bridge towards Mount Kresnik, but again, XPERT MY is close by. They may bump into each other. So what would they need to do now? I think it's just to get a vehicle, and of course, between these two options, the best option is Mount Kresnik, moving into the middle and hopefully get some loot where in those small areas there. Try to hang on to the middle as much as possible because again, the terrain in this circle is small, it's very little. And just look at this cinematic shot on the left side on the screen. Wow, thank you so much, our observers.
Dino part, I just want to see a maze circle once. You see, imagine all the players lost in a maze. It will be ridiculously funny and horrible for the players as well.
Yeah, perhaps the winner is camping across the mouth of the dino. Who knows? Who knows?
Wow.
But going back to Choo Choo, I know you kind of hate the circle that we're having right now.
It's total trash.
But you have to give it up to this circle, particular circle, especially for the map of Vikendi. It's a lot of mixture of the best elements in comparing to all the 3 maps that we have, such as the Sunhawk, Erangel, and the particular Miramar map. So I kind of like this particular section because you can see that there's a lot of small towns or perhaps the good towns around here. So even though, let's say if they want to take the battles across the beaches or the peak area, they can actually take the battles across urban warfare, but we have to see for the next circles to come.
No, I still not gonna say it's a good circle. No,
Damn
don't.
it.
You can't
I
make me
could
say
not.
that. Look at that cliff around Peshkova. Imagine it will ended up there. Yeah, they're kind of shorelines on Travno, but at the same time, Cosmodrome is the only actually good place to fight in because of the terrains and multi-level terrains at that, and the terrains are helping in terms of the hills there. But if it ended up with 16% of water, no, we're gonna see sitting and swimming ducks all over the place, which you have seen before.
I'm still a
You're
little bit.
happy.
I'm so sorry. I'm
At least
happy.
try to hide the happiness. It's too
I tried my
obvious.
best. I tried my best to convince her.
No,
She's
just
not. She's
stop.
not buying it. She's not buying it.
Yeah.
No.
I've been
No.
trying for the past 1.5 weeks, but I still seem to fail. So yeah, same goes with my relationship as well. But then again,
No comments.
Ooh, that's
Time out.
quick out there. Went so dark so quick. But yeah, look at that.
Yep.
The migration happens. Everybody trying to reposition themselves inside of a circle, but TNR, Team NoRecoil, already get themselves at smack middle of it.
Yeah, kind of like how they start on to be very, very close to one another, and of course the gunfights are about to happen here. Again, it's going to be a very, very widespread map. Players are going to try to find loot as much as possible before going into the countment, but then it looks like NR, they will go in with the fight here. They're going to start off with the first skirmish. Unfortunately, EVOS will get the first knockout, and now things are not looking too good for NR. NR in a lot of confusion whether or not they want to go in for the kill or perhaps to go for the revive. They are very close to one another, but they are able to go in with the knockout here. The trade is real, and it's all going back to the favor of NR.
Oh, in something sound, right in the middle of the house here, will bring out the revive onto his teammates, and now Loyu looks like will make the move in, and now all fire will happen. Razor looks like he's been knocked out as well as Good Jelly as well on the other side of the map, but then again Loyu finishing up the job onto Team EVOS, and now looks like EVOS, they still have one team member behind. Putra is still behind there. Loyu tries to sniff it out, but then again not moving a muscle, so they may not know where he is, but they do know there's one more team member from EVOS VIP. They will go up, but looks like the shot's being fired by Putra. Now Putra has been pinned back behind the stone, and now they will go for a run, and it looks like the grenade will go out, and the first team will be wiped out by Team NoRecoil.
Oh, EVOS VIP will feeling very salty about this. I just talked to Qs that they're already having a hard time making themselves, getting the momentum back again for a couple of days back. This is not doing well at all. And the moment I kind of question Putra, he can actually just run away just now, hide himself on the downhill side, which he can play with the terrain, but apparently he needs to take up a challenge. Still going for it. But Bapak on this hand, trying to get jump, and it's quite an easy kill for Trix. Not even challenge at that. That's 1 point in their pocket. Freely playing around this bridge here. On the other side, H2O still going for Impunity. Apparently they're trying to play as quiet as they can, just around on the outskirts of Cosmodrome.
H2O will go and engage with Impunity here. Perhaps H2O will be the defenders in this siege effort coming in from Impunity. Impunity do have members and of course numbers in their favor here, because there's only 3 members at the moment I'm seeing from the side of H2O. But at the same time, they are not out of the woods. They are actually going to get backfired here. Go Jet Li, if I'm not mistaken, will have to fall back. And this will be a buddy system from here. And now we get to find the other member from H2O. He will pop out.
And now moving over to RSG versus XPERT MY. They have them locked down in a similar compound. Same goes with Geek fam as well as Team NoRecoil still on top of that. But ooh, look at this. AWM so early into the game. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, at the moment it's actually a small map to drop to AWM when it's actually the big map is DBS all the way. But yeah, there you go. AWM with also standard mag there. XPERT MY tunneling them down on Still Hearts here. That's a nice, beautiful spray. A little bit more faster when it comes to that control of the recoil. Same trying to make landings of the shots there. Still haven't make one knocked at all. There's quite a lot of ammunition being wasted. Resurgence on the other hand got themselves on the side of Steel Hearts too, so they kind of segregated the Steel Hearts member. Apparently they have one man scouting down on Resurgence, and Iver tried to reposition themselves, and now XPERT MY actually park themselves around this corner trying to challenge up Resurgence. At the same time, Steel Hearts, that scout just have to move away. Nope, they're not going to take up the fight here.
Definitely not going to try to take the fight. It's they're very limited in terms of the resources, and I don't think it's a very clever fight, especially when you're going into the real match. But hey, Iron Pro looks like he's gonna start shooting down some players from Team DZ here. Looks like 14 a little bit of trouble, but again, no, not much of a dings in hand. And Iron Pro this time around, he will be trying to continue on with the loots as RSG will regain composure right here.
Yep, they are still unchallenged there. Same goes for XPERT MY as well. They do have the same compound for themselves, but again, this compound isn't so big. It is still the first circle, so they were expected to still move on once the first circle closes in, and we do have vision on the second circle. But look at this, Drax with a long shot, does connect a little bit, and Bapak will need to reset this up. But look at this, oh my, it looks like he fell off, and he got damaged, and got knocked there.
Yeah, but then Yoodo on the other hand try to get themselves a better positioning, because they do know at this angle it's quite hard to pin anybody down or even land any bullets. So they will try to get a better, higher ground here. We're talking about gatekeeping for Yoodo gang. They have been very quiet. Now they're trying to actually redeem themselves in this game. Apparently got themselves quite a decent grounds that they're working on with so many structure as their covers. But then, how long they actually gonna stand here? Because like it or not, they will have to replenish themselves with so many ammunition. Wait about Resurgence! They will charge him by Axis XP here, and apparently Axis will take down by Y2K coming in with a micro Uzi and GT660 with a swapping in the last minute. Small boy rushing in with a snowmobile in the last minute. Iron Pro with level 1 health going in for Axis. They are really in a clumped up situation. Sticky one, Iron Pro out in the open, managed to get one more on Omen, and now it's Happy down onto him. Voki tried to locate the rest of Resurgence. Small boy coming in, charging right in with the almost exploded small mobile there. Voki will actually take their grounds back, and Happy is just the one man left because the rest of X is on their knees right now.
Oh, Happy now, we need to save his team member, but again, Happy, we need to go for Oman. Oman looks like the smoke will be popped out towards the side. Oman, the revive definitely will go out here, and looks like, let's see here, they are all in a stalemate at this moment. RSG still in the house, but looks like the other team members of Axis are held hostage below. That's not going to be easy for them, but panning over to Jenny. Looks like he's been taking a couple of shots here. Jenny will need to find a place to hide out because oh my goodness, they are just right in front of him, but again, the shots do not connect enough. It looks like they will try to get away from here, and ESG will make it out alive.
Oh, ESG will make it out alive here, but then going back to the perspective of Resurgence. Resurgence, they want to continue on with the skirmish against Axis. Axis, they had a plan in mind. They wanted to go for the revives, but unfortunately, you can see how fast the rotations coming in from Resurgence. They already got their own revives already for their team, and they're going to continue to strike it out against Axis. Axis in a lot of trouble. Moving back here, Bapak. Esports going out one-on-one with ESG. ESG 6. He's gonna try using the G636 and will get the knockout here on 6. 6 one more time. 3 members from Bapak Esports. No can do. Trinity will fall down, but it will be a squad wipe, and it will be credited to Bapak Esports.
The cry of joy coming up from Bapak just now, but back to Resurgence, still going at it against Axis here. Whereas Oman, I'm surprised they didn't rush in for Resurgence, but that was an easy kill for Small Boy throwing himself that nade. Axis plays himself at 14 placement here. Not quite happy with that around Cemetery, but Semi-Factory, sorry. And back to Resurgence, they will have to go out from this position entirely because the blue is sinking in, and everybody waiting for the next phase of a circle here. We do see Travner will be centralized, and the rest of the team are migrating into the circle, which will be crucial for them if they make it out alive. If it's too late, they will be gatekept. Back to the rest of team Bosskurr, we're going at it with 2 or 3 teams surrounding them so far.
Oh, now brother, looks like he's taking a couple of shots there. Bosskurr is in the middle of everything. They do have a compound to their advantage, but Impunity is out in the open. Rectify looks like he's been knocked down by Sinbi from afar because Team NoRecoil is just behind the FV. It's moving in. This is going to be a bloodbath here.
Oh, this is going to be very, very tough. I mean, you have to be careful on Team Impunity. They don't have much cover in terms of structural protection, and Bosskurr, they do have that defense in them, but again, they have to take note and gather information, as much information as possible. Yes, they do find out FV already, and it looks like Akido will punish down Mozart, leaving the knockout, most likely go for the revive as well. But then I think FV, they're going to try to push in.
I hate that circle, I swear to God. It's really, really bad for the players, tormenting at that. But Bosskurr, yep, they have this structure to work with, but the rest of the team will flush them out any soon, because we do see a couple of teams already trying to make a move. Resurgence, on the other hand, Voki tried to save Y2K there. Drex trying to get the flanks out, pincing it out, and maybe just get a clean kill. And the explosion of vehicle will be very soon. Voki already on the flanks here, but that Fredo can hit. They actually hit that and kind of blocked with that shots with a pen last minute. Fredo straight away proning. He has to take it up on Voki because, like it or not, Voki will try to charge right in. But smokes will be pop here. The rest of Yoodo again will actually give a hand. At the same time, he is clumped up between two Resurgence, back and forth here. And it seems like he really need an extra hand coming up for some backup.
It's going to be very, very tough as Fredo's trying to get out from that danger zone. At least the crossfire coming in from Resurgence. Voki, meanwhile, he's going to reposition himself. Y2K is no longer savable. He's going to go back to the lobby here as Resurgence. They will bail out. I think they want to try to collect as many people. Nope, they want to fight with one another. They're going to start continuing on. But a different perspective here.
Oh, FV and Impunity. Looks like they're going to go at it ahead at each other. Alpha on one side, Sleep, and Aikido on another side. Jaeger, Good Jelly just waiting on behind, just being that support. While in front, they do have Vex and also Rectify fronting the lines. And now looks like Aikido has been sniffed out. And Aikido now is in trouble. Looks like there's Molotov on his side as well. And Alpha looks like he's been knocked out at the same time. Grim tries to get the shot onto Impunity, but Impunity, they managed to hide themselves. Vex looks like, oh, 1-on-1 shut down. Vex managed to get the knockdown onto Sleep. Will finish Sleep out, send him back to sleep. And now Vex, only 10% life left, will use the first aid kit, and Good Jelly tries to find whoever who's left.
Yeah, we don't have enough time here. They need to retreat. Impunity try to wash them out. At this same time, Grim opt out that he will neglect the rest of the team here. He's the captain and in-call leader. He actually made the decision for the team. Apparently, they want the placement point and have to just sacrifice Alpha at the last minute. Grim reposition himself, making sure he's out in the open and making sure he take a longer route of rotation, replenish himself in a couple of compound, and just reset everything back to the airdrop. The third one of the day, Groza, with even a suppressor on top of that. Quite a decent one. All gears up if they take this loot on their side.
Yeah, we have 43 players left alive and 13 teams, so there's a lot of engagement and skirmishes going in here. And looks like we're gonna have another one just way aboard. Resurgence, Iron Pro, hunting down, scouting for these opponents. But at the same time, they do not get the angles or perhaps the opposing force information that they need. And they're just going to run out, trying to hope to go into the safe zone as much as possible, hold on to that particular position. But oh, Voki, he's going to get shot down by Yoodo here. Yoodo starting to bite them from behind as Iron Pro will try to cover down Voki in this particular section.
Oh, Resurgence, they do have the high ground at the same time. Expert MY Dylan is looking from afar, and the circle will close in now, and looks like it's only left to about 10% of water. And
Yeah,
now
thank
look
you.
at, oh,
Thank
okay.
you, Circle.
Choo
Thank
Choo is happy there.
Yeah, of course I am, because look at this. Imagine if all the players have to just swim, making sure themselves at the shorelines, and everybody just hogging at the cliff there. That will be terrible to watch, because we're going to see a healing game onto the 9th circle. But back to the game, guys. On the southern side, we can see quite occupied with so many colors of a team there. And now Resurgence trying to make a move. Will they bomb into the Yoodo gang, or actually taking up a fight against Expert MY?
Resurgence just waiting, just playing the waiting game here as oh, it looks like Team Bosskurr actually got one knockout, and it looks like it's going to be Impunity. Impunity still holding on to whatever safe haven that they have, even though it's open lands. At the same time, you can see that Team NoRecoil just behind them. This is going to be a Mexican sandwich showdown, especially for Team Bosskurr, because Bosskurr has to be careful. Han already losing his life here. Is going to get knocked out as Impunity. This is their move. They are going to go in as fast. But Loyu coming from behind, taking down Mozart as well. And now Team Bosskurr NoRecoil in a lot of trouble because Impunity and NoRecoil is coming in to put up that Subway sandwich on their face.
Oh, Rectify looks like just in front of him. Pain that just behind the wall, but Pain that tries to make a run for it, and now they will want Pain that. Jaeger will be revived by his teammates, and now at the same time, Vex will try to sniff out Pain that, but Pain that is in the building using the first aid kit, try to fend it out, but then again, Brother is on the other side as well. He have eyes on the side of Impunity. Impunity do have the numbers though. Impunity can make a rush for it, but again, the Uzis by Brother is just being ready there. The grenade do connect onto Brother. Vex still on the outside now, a little bit of stalemate here, but then the circle is closing in. They'll need to make a decision quickly.
I don't see this as beneficial for either of these teams because whether like it or not, they have to go through Team NoRecoil next, which apparently sit this one out. They are still waiting for the golden opportunity to rush in, and apparently Impunity is still going with a Molotov barbecuing Vax at that. One knockdown for the good jelly, and the rest of the team are dumbfounded. They don't know how to revive. Plays on clip Pendek on mob. With Bosskurr there, and Brother, can he actually heal this one out? Because it's the 4th circle we're talking about. It's not as painful as the 6th one, but still painful enough that you need a couple of boosters. And Team NoRecoil is just gatekeeping. They need to move.
Yeah, Team NoRecoil, they need to push forward here
Oh!
into the next circle. Get a couple of things over there, if I'm not mistaken, onto Impunity. But Impunity, they themselves also are getting punished through the circle as Somnus and Sinbi just coming in with the VIP, or at least the cars here. And now Team NoRecoil, they have eyes onto Team. And are they able to take it out? And finally Impunity, they'll be out.
Yep, boys from Singapore, looks like they will bow out of this round. But little do they know, there's still Brother on the outside there, but I'm not sure how long can Brother can just
He got
handle
only
that.
band-aids, and now he's using his first first aids. I don't think he has any. Well, he does have a couple of painkillers there. Maybe he can make it out, but then at the same time, he needs to use it ASAP, as soon as possible. Apparently, he's trying his best to run away from the rest of the team. But back to Dingoz, who got clumped up between XPERT and Y. Sticky situation because Yoodo again coming up from behind as well, trying to advance forward. Bapak apparently standing there. There's also Last Survivor just showing themselves in the corner. It's a 5-way war zone here we're talking about.
Oh my goodness. Very, very tough for those who are outside of the zone. Meanwhile, Dingoz, they will start off the skirmish against their opponents here, which will be Team XPERT MY. Just holding on to the grounds, Ajims. He's just waiting, just giving up information for his team in order to look at those angles here. But at the same time though, they are facing another opposition force. Yoodo gang saying, hello, we're joining in the party. Can we come in as well? And they will take their time. Yoodo Drax very close to one another. It looks like they're going to do the 1-2 bait and switch movement over here. Fredo will be the entry fragger. He's going to be taken down to at least 20% of health, but then will it be worth it? And Bapak come in from nowhere and they will steal the kills.
Oh, definitely. It doesn't benefit any of these teams. Your Bapak is just behind. Just look at this 6 half an angle onto the team, and we do know that Bapak, they are very good at taking those long shots as well. Manpara need to make a run for it. 60 of his eyes, but then the smoke do protect the team members of Yoodo gang. At the same time, we do see on the other angle, Steelheart, XPERT MY as well as Last Survivor. They are close by. Look at this. Team NoRecoil reaches a 10 kill mark.
Everybody will force out from the hiding spot because the circle doesn't seem too friendly for these players. Please don't auto finish someone of XPERT MY who've been gatekept by so many teams, including Bapak, who actually just hold themselves to this structure. So many cover to work with. Still hard plays himself at a 10 spot. Got himself in the top 10 here. Quite decent, but still not enough to push themselves throughout the grand final. But still, Bapak gatekeeping it so hard, denying everybody to advance into the circle, and this is not going well if they overstay themselves too much, because like it or not, another minute the circle will shrink more.
Yeah, I think Bapak is doing a great job having the advantage in terms of the circle into their favor, but it looks like Playzone is going to knock down Fredo, and Fredo eventually will fall victim to this poisonous blue zone. And going back to Bapak, again, they have vehicles so they can rotate to any part of the map simply enough, as long they don't get heavy fired by multiple teams. But team number 22, it looks like it's going to be Team Last Survivor. Very close to Team XPERT MY. I think Romeo is the last person alive as well.
Oh yeah, and at the same time, H2O, I have to point out that they are in the circle and they have been in there for a long time. They did take a couple of shots there, but look at this. Romeo with the good NSP.
One more and another one. And there goes another one. He's gonna drop it like it's hot for Romeo, because like it or not, Last Survivor only have one man, which is now Expert. Romeo getting an NSP knocked down, and he's rushing in. There goes the spray coming out from XPERT. Romeo with a micro Uzi. They are trying to hide themselves. It's 1v4 here we're talking about, and last Ichong tried to call it out, and one more nade being dropped here. ZYKZ trying to just making sure they got covered by the vehicles and the back of their heads here, and like it or not, they will be stopped so bad by Expert. They want to just advance in, because like it or not, Romeo attract them so much attention. There's H2O at the end of the back there, but on the other hand, stand this one out because they are waiting to kill steal away again.
Yeah, Romeo, what a good job. If he had much more of the grenades, he could just play around, but then Caster's Curse number 3! Number 2, number 4 already.
I think you're having the curse worse than we do. Like, oh, you guys, good luck, because KVC is with us today.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, he did his best. He did his best to knock down a few people, to mess up the rotations at the very least. And now, Team Last Survivor, they have to play the survival game. They have to get into the next safe zone ASAP. But guess who's waiting over there?
Yep, guess who's waiting over there? It is definitely the Water Boys, H2O. Kaya now throwing out the Molotov onto the side. He does have a good, decent amount of loot there with the level 3 helmet as well as level 3 bag, and also good number of bandages there that hopefully can help them towards the later stages. But then again, looks like H2O, they still have 4 team members intact. Bapak is in the circle as well. Same goes for another team, team number 17, and looks like team NoRecoil and RSG, they need to find a way into the circle. The play zone is forcing RSG into the circle right now.
The moment Bapak called for that shot of positioning in the circle, it really favors them. They kind of know how the pattern is going to end it up. But Geek fam on there and have be quiet. Apparently they walked themselves quite in a clear path all around the northern side of a map there. Resurgence on the other hand, kind of late into the circle, caused them quite a lot of casualties. Only one man left, if I'm not mistaken. It was Small Boy around that corner. Bapak, they got themselves quite fast into the rotation here. Gatekeeping so hard that less than 5 seconds, less than 1 minute, sorry, we'll see so many teams will have to actually face the consequences, because they already are in the smack middle for Geek fam, but they haven't realized that Bapak are just playing the terrain on the slope side of the hill there.
Oh, Resurgence going in. Small Boy showing up some firepower against one of the members of Last Survivor here. Small Boy as well, he's the last remaining member for Resurgence before getting kicked out of the lobby, so he's just going to play it very, very carefully. Again, placement points as Choo Choo and Circle I did mention earlier onwards. It's all coming down to that, or at least get some exit frags before self-sacrificing yourself out of here.
And looks like Ichong now, he's been knocked down, but at the same time, the view of Geek fam, they have 2 team members in the middle. All has crossed at Denver, has crossed down to Trix, but then again, Trix Nitty managed to prone right at the good time, because look at this. That's an AWM there. 1 shot, 1 knock. H2O still surviving this, getting themselves into the circle. Bapak as well, trying to get into the circle. Geek fam have the most team members in the circle right now. Pressures on to RSG. Team NoRecoil as well as Last Survivor.
Oh, Last Ichong, one of the best fragger we had. Almost one of the best top 10 here. We're looking at the players' individual skills, but down to 6 teams, 16 players alive. So many teams still have 4 men there, including Geek fam. There's also H2O. Small Boys on the other end get a pulse shot down on Last Ichong. They were actually trying to rush in. There was 2 boys. Somnus coming up behind. That was really sneaky of him coming up from that distance. Cheeky guy. Kill steal away, and Insonus kind of exposed himself. That's a really compromising action there done by Insonus. Get himself knocked down back in the circle. Not even inside the skull, taking the blue right now. Sticky situation for him. I can question how he get that out of from his hands.
Oh no, Bapak Esports, they are actually having the best game so far, and eventually they are getting knocked out like flies here, leaving only, if I'm not mistaken, 1 more member left alive, and Sakura comes in. Unfortunately, will get knocked out by Jenny. That would be a trade-off here, but then there's a lot of damage being done already by Bapak Esports, and here, and they are out already because H2O finishes them off. 3 more teams, 9 more alive.
Oh, H2O, Geek Fam as well as last survivor. Looks like Geek Fam down through. Tries to get a hit onto Ichong. Ichong now has been knocked down. Ichong will be sent back to the lobby. And now Geek Fam have 4 team members intact while H2O have 3 team members. And at the same time, last survivor, Moss Goku will be the last one for his team. No one's really in the circle right now. Everyone's trying to get in. But again, QB with the shots do spray out. They do have eyes onto Moss Goku. But again, on the other side, H2O is still lurking around. H2O is still trying to prone here, trying to stay away from all the fights, trying to get that highest placement position possible. Kaya with a shot onto Moss Goku. That's not connected now. Only a little bit more. Moss Goku will only 10% left. Kaya, that timing is a little bit off. That QB will be taken out as well. And Pengu will be sent back to the lobby.
We're down to top 2 now. Just now, it was nice coming back from last Moss Goku, and the rest of Geek Fam will march in. This is not even a contest to begin with. Moss Goku trying to heal it up. Can he make it on time? He only has bandages. He has to rush in now. There will be Geek Fam, a clean win there. 4-man, easy chicken dinner. It was a nice clutch coming out with Moss Goku in the last minute, but man, that was tough to play for last survivor.
And where has Geek Fam even come from? They were actually hidden during the whole commentary, and eventually in the final few circles, they came out. They went